watcher. Let's have a shuffle and get some fresh energy. I'm really glad that I got this new Oracle deck, the What Lies Beneath, because there's so many like different, there's like a wider variety of options. So I'm just using it in addition to the Shadow Love Oracle ones and the Clarifying Love Situations ones, because I think they're really, really good actually. But I just wanted some like additional wider options and some really interesting stuff coming out. So that was a good investment. And then I've bought a new deck, new tarot deck. So I might swap to that and do like slightly different setup. I'm gonna have to do a job application this evening, and then I'm back to work tomorrow, and then I'm away next weekend. Yeah, I won't be doing readings next weekend. I'm gonna have to skip a week because it's my birthday weekend and I'm away all weekend. So I'm very good though, aren't I? Like I do it every week, and I did some extra bits over Easter as well. But I've done some long arse readings to make up for it as well. Done like almost an hour for each sign this weekend, so. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Sagittarius's highest good. How is Sagittarius feeling in these final days of April 2025 and the beginning days of May 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for your feelings first, Sagittarius. Okay, so we've got a combination of cards for you, Sagittarius. We've got the 3 of Pentacles reversed. So then we've got the 6 of Swords upright, the 9 of Wands reversed, and the Hermit. Straight away, I'm getting a narrative of there's a lack of cooperation from within inside a relationship. You want to move on. You want to just drop the burdens and let go of that emotional baggage. That's the dropping of the burdens there. The 9 of Wands upright is someone that's willing to continue carrying the weight, and they've been doing it for a while. When you reverse it, it's like, I'm just not doing it anymore. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got Hermit mode, which is really healthy. This is a really healthy thing to do, and it's when you have time away from your person and you just look within. The answers lie within you. Only you know how you feel about them now. Only you know what you want now. You can't ask other people and be like, what should I do? Because, I mean, you can, but in your heart, if you don't agree with what they've told you, that tells you how you feel. Does that make sense? And that happens when you watch tarot. If a tarot reader says something that seems right and then you actually really take offense to something they say, at least that's showing you how you do feel. And if you don't agree with something they've said, you're now clear on what you do think and what you do want and what you do feel. Do you know what I mean? So in this story of the Major Arcana, The Fool realises that he must walk this journey alone and he must find the answers within him. You can't know and ask other people how you feel about something. You can't do that. And you don't do that. When you talk to other people, it's not because you don't know what you want to do. You're just expressing it and you just want them to listen and be there for you. I know I don't go to other people asking them what I want them, I don't ask them like, what should I do? I know what I want to do about a situation, but I'm trusting you with what I'm telling you to just hold it, listen, and don't judge me. You know what I mean? I think your intention is to move away from a relationship or connection that doesn't seem to be cooperative anymore. And you're taking the time to kind of process that before doing, because I don't see the Eight of Cups. Well, let's see what else comes out. Yes, there's a lack of action here. So with the Two of Wands, you're picking A or B. There's a choice to be made. Which direction do I go, A or B? With the Three of Wands, you've made the choice and now you're going to actuate it. When it's reversed, we know what we want to do. We've made the choice, but we're not doing it. We're not actuating it yet. So what the reason for pause or the reason for strategy is going to be is money. It would mean a loss of assets or money, or you want time to withdraw money or divide assets. It's to do with money, okay? A large amount of money being lost or withdrawn. Obviously, it would mean lifestyle change, less, maybe like not as nice an area or a much smaller property, or losing what you've, obtained in a sort of status, or something like this. Using up savings, yeah. Maybe the current job that you have only works, when they're kind of there to look after the kids, so you'd have to change your job or something like this. Work closer to home. Get rid of a car. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things that would mean a loss of wealth or major outgoings. Maybe like withdraw money to get a deposit for your own place or something. Right, your person's got the Justice upright, the Ten of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles. So they feel that this is fair and right. They're dropping the burdens as well. They don't want to keep soldiering on and taking on the strain of this. Like, it's like a ceiling that keeps pushing down on them, and they just can't do it anymore, and they're not going to do it anymore. It's a relief to this person. It's what they think is fair and right and true and honest. And they're looking forward to growth and expansion and prosperity in the future. They intend to, flourish. They're not devastated. Like, for them, this is right and fair and true. And honest. They could be a Libra, or they could have that in their chart. Air signs have a very strong sense of just what's fair or what's equal. They want to do what is I don't know if honourable is the right word, but they work with they act with integrity, and they have very strong sense of fairness and justice. They'd rather act with authenticity than live a lie, but they just want things to be fair. They don't believe in being dishonest or trying to get one over anyone. It's not about that, if that makes sense. What else is going on in their head? What do they want? How do they feel? Okay, so whilst they were upset about this previously, they are healing. For them, this is like a period of like, I'm going to be okay. Like, because this is something that needs to happen, I'm processing it and I'm moving forward, and it's going to take time, but it's going to be all right. They're going to have enough to sustain themselves as a single person. They've got the 9 of Pentacles. Now, 9s are a single energy. Like, as a solo individual, I have enough money to pay for myself. I don't necessarily have enough to provide for others, but I'm starting from a good place where I have enough, that I can take care of myself. It's an energy of like, I'm single and I don't need to be with anyone. I don't rely upon anyone. I don't particularly have a desire to get with anyone. I just have enough to kind of take care of myself, like I'm abundant. It's about finances, that one. So in the outcome, we've got 6 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, 3 of Cups, 7 of Swords. Now, I mixed up the order a little bit accidentally, but there's a sense of wanting reciprocity, fairness, equal input of time, money, and energy. An urgent message is going to be delivered. A very passionate, fiery, sexual energy is going to be felt, and excitement for someone that you or they wish to be sexual with, and it's going to be kept secret for a while, or it is a secret, or it has been a secret for a while. It's in the outcome, so I think that's something in the future that's going to be kept on the down low. But whether it's you or them or both of you, after this separation, there's going to be like a living in the moment, seizing the moment, tremendous excitement, and exploring sexuality and, the freedom to do what we want. But keeping it a secret because of judgment, sometimes you just want to exercise your right as a free individual once you've been released from a contract. Because what I didn't say before, but the Justice card can be legalities and the legal system. So it can allude to marriage, and divorce. We have the 10 of Wands with that, so it's dropping the burdens and growth and expansion in the future. recovery from heartbreak. So that's how I get the divorce vibe. The single card, like 9 of Pentacles, being financially abundant as a single person. 10 of Pentacles is when you put two incomes together and you create lasting generational wealth for your children, for their children, for parents, for pets. Nines are single energy. So you can see the transition down the side is becoming free from a marriage, becoming single, becoming excited to act upon that. But it could be mutual, guys. You could be really let's have a look at your side again. The 3 of Pentacles reverse, lack of cooperation, leaving the past behind, you know, not worrying about it anymore, dropping the burdens, looking within, processing what's happened. A lack of action because it's going to be loss of wealth. I don't know if you're like up to where they are in terms of like, I think you're going into a process of reflection and deep introspection, and I think they're kind of a little bit further ahead than you, maybe. What you seem concerned with is a loss of wealth, and just having a little pause for reflection and deep introspection. And in the outcome, we've got cards that, you know, are looking for fairness, and it's like urgent messages, being sexual, you know, third party, secrets. I just don't feel like that's where your head's at. So I'm going to assume that that's them and that they instigated this. I'm not a fly on the wall, so you might be looking at it thinking, no, I know what that is, but that's what I'm intuitively getting as someone that's not involved in it. I don't know if you can see these. I'm going to go back a little bit. I think this person is just exploring like something sexual, and they want cooperation, that it's not going to be exposed or talked about locally. Maybe out of respect, or maybe because they don't know how much they want to get involved in it. Because they were a combination. Let's get 2 more for the outcome. The 2 of Wands. So there's now a choice, A or B. The Strength card. So the Strength card upright is the major arcana for Leo, and we did see a bigger rush of like fire. And the Strength card is like when there's a need to be emotionally strong. With it being reversed, it's like feeling emotionally weak. And it is a very emotional situation. We think about what we're trying to plan and try to decide upon. There's a big decision that needs to be made. Big crossroads, like, and because they're recovering from heartbreak, and it feels like they're already out of the process of coming to terms with this. It's more like, are they going to take it forward with the new person, or are they going to stay single? I think it's more that's the decision that they're on. these outcome cards don't have to be a follow-on from them, though. They could be you going, okay, what's next for me, and struggling, you know, with the emotion of that. Which would just be normal, wouldn't it? Normal reaction. Right, let's clarify what's going on with this person that you look to be separating from, or they're separating from you. There's some sort of like vicious circle here, and potentially this person could make the same mistakes again, or they've kept someone in a vicious circle of on and off, in a no-win situation, like third party. So they could have been doing this during the marriage, and I'm sorry to expose that if that's if you are Sagittarius, you could be the cross watcher, you could just be someone waiting to watch their sign, but perhaps this person's been quite an unhealthy partner, quite an unhealthy spouse. They could have issues from childhood. They could just be someone that has urges, you know, temptations, and has let themselves succumb to it. I don't know, but it says vicious circle, pattern of relationship issues. It seems to allude to something deeper going on with them. So it's not like they're going off to happily ever after. Wishful thinking. Having lofty ideals leads to a letdown. Be realistic. So there could be someone that fantasizes, you know, and gets carried away and becomes delusional. Flickering passion, feelings come and go, or the chemistry is not there. So they could have really strong, like, sexual urges, which forces them to make crazy decisions. Soul's compass, let intuition guide your steps, illuminating the life path meant for you. On a like intuitive level, they believe that there's something in, that it's not for nothing. Okay, so they're genuinely like following not just chemistry, but they started to intuitively believe that there's some sort of direction they're being led in. Okay, so there is a deeper, something deeper going on with them. It isn't just like the excitement of an affair or whatever. It's something spiritual going on with them. Oh, hang on, haven't done the new oracle deck. Let's pull something from here. This has got a lot of different options in here. It's got a wider span of stuff. It's really good, actually. Oh my god. Tantric sex. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's when people have a big build up to being passionate with each other, and they wait longer and longer. This person, like, they sort of get off on keeping people waiting for a really long time and holding themselves off, like, the act of sex. They will hold off for a really long time to make the urge higher and higher. Love story, once upon a time. So I told you there's like a deeper meaning to this. Like, they believe that they're in love with the person. A situation's about to explode, things are about to pop off in flames. So they've been dancing with the devil here, like having a third party. For me, like, this is someone who is rebelling in life by purposely and knowingly having an affair. They're confused about whether it's love, they're confused about whether it's just sexual, but they're dancing with danger, you know, like check yourself. They really need to look at their actions because they've been overly impulsive and put everything on the line too many times to show like balance. They're being promiscuous, okay, so it's a very sexual experience for them, and they're kind of like almost can't stop themselves, like it's awoken something in them. So sorry if that's painful to hear, but this person like solidly in a single vibe. Yeah, that they're the ones that actuated the separation. Okay, they want to be out dating. I don't think that's a message for you. But if you want to know what's going on in this person's head, they're thinking about themselves now and the life that they'll have after this separation. Okay, so we've got wedding. Taking your relationship to the next level one step at a time. Nurture your relationships like blooming flowers, they'll flourish. I don't know why these have come out because I feel like I'm reading a separation. Perhaps this didn't happen and you forgot to nurture the relationship, or maybe you did, and so this is like ultra painful. This can be really painful for some people to watch this one, I think. If you look at their side of things, they weren't feeling this way anymore in this connection, and we'll just leave that there because I just think this can be really painful for someone. I don't want to keep going on about it. I'm not gonna get messages from them because I just think that's pointless. I don't think we should give it too much time now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get your advice, Sagittarius, because this is your reading after all. What advice have you got for Sagittarius, please? You need to go with your gut, okay? So you're doing exactly what you need to do with Hermit energy. In your heart of hearts, in your gut, what do you feel to do? What are your instincts telling you to do? You've received clarity about how they're feeling, but you know how you're feeling, and you was definitely like, you know, if this is resonating and you suspected cheating, if you thought it was really weird that they suddenly, you know, were really clear that they wanted out or something, and it's caught you off guard, maybe it makes more sense now. When someone breaks vows and breaks your trust and hurts you like this, it's generally like very clear what you need to do next or what you want to do next. So I wouldn't, you just got to go with your instincts, haven't you? What's your gut? What's your body telling you? Because you'll all either be getting a reaction that's telling you what you need to do, and whether you want them anywhere near you or you're just so mad as hell, hurt. It's just, I don't think you're going to be able to ignore the visceral reaction that you get from this. If this is your case, please don't assume that if you're in a healthy marriage that you're about to get divorced and they've been cheating because you've watched a tarot reading. This will be resonating because someone will be sitting here going, yeah, my person asked me for a divorce. Yeah, they could well have been having an affair. Yeah, it feels like, it's something I don't want, and they're really, like, almost eager for it. Like, you'll know if this resonates or it's just not your story. Please don't ever accuse, if you're happily married, don't ever accuse anyone of anything just because you watched a reading. Creator and air. So air energy is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and they are very creative. They're great with colour, they're ideas people. They're thinkers, very intellectual. So at the moment, you've got clarity. So although it's painful, you're aware of the situation and what it means. You've got a blank slate to work with now. The upside is you get to have full control over what happens next. What life do you want for yourself? What do you want it to look like? You get to be the creator of your future now. Okay, so this is what this means for me, this card. Clarity, swords cut through the crap, they cut through the fog clears, and you work with the reality, which is I get to go forward, making everything how I want it, like the home, the little home that I'm going to have, like where I want to have it, how I'm going to decorate it, who's going to be allowed into it. You get to have, full artistic license over it, which is, for me, that's very important. I don't know. It's a chance to have a life over, and not have to work with what's in existence, which you find yourself, doing more and more the longer you're with people. You have to compromise, you have to work around stuff, you have to put up with things and go, well, that's just how they are, so that's why things are like this. But you get to do everything how you want it going forwards, Sagittarius. So let's get another card. Look, positive thinking. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being, and I find serenity. It's going to take time, but that little tiny flicker of a light is going to grow over time until this just isn't a thing anymore. Okay. Wisdom. God has a plan for me. I live here now, knowing beauty is to come. These are so nice, these cards, and they're so right for you right now. I don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided for me. I learn from my experiences, take small steps in faith, and succeed, thanks to all of my efforts. Okay, so that will be like the day-to-day, like I'm going to get in the car, go to work, I'm going to get on the bus and go to work, I'm going to have my shower, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to eat something. Little by little, one foot in front of the other, creating new routines takes time, but that's why, it just becomes habitual. It gets easier and easier, and we just, try to see any positives we can in a situation. Goodness, I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So it's about having This green is the heart chakra. So when we hold grudges, or we hold hate, or we hold anger and upset, it's actually bad for our bodies. And I'm not saying don't even like think about it, because you do, because that's normal. You feel hate, you feel angry, but you've got to find moments where you will smile again, moments where you laugh again, moments where you think about just your job, or you let yourself have relief from those kind of emotions, and then some sort of unconditional love will be possible eventually, where you just think they're just doing what they think is right at the time. This wasn't malicious, it wasn't premeditated, no one's out to get me. I need to accept the situation. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it, and you never have to like it, but you need to accept it because it's what's happening. And then think about the good stuff, which is like, I don't have to put up with, I always make a list of their bad habits or things that really used to like irk me about them. Sometimes how they left the bathroom. And I would just think about all the stuff that I don't have to put up with anymore. And then I would think about how I do want things to be for me, because I deserve to be happy. I deserve to, have the things that I've always wanted. Now different things are possible. And you've just got to do it. It's mind over matter, Get into that creative flow and start to let yourself think about how things might be in the future, even though it feels way off. We're gonna, use cognitive behavioral therapy to just reprogram and reframe things so that it's more palatable for us right now. We don't have to look really far ahead, but we can tell ourselves that at some point we'll make a mood board, or at some point we'll go on Pinterest and just look at different lifestyles that we might be interested in, and bring ourselves, coax ourselves round into that way of thinking eventually. That's what I've done, to keep myself sane, and recover from the deepest heartbreaks that I've been through. And that only happens once or twice in a lifetime, but you do get there, and then you don't pine for that person anymore. You just you end up like a very different person, I think. And it takes years, but you do end up having unconditional love for them eventually. Okay, so we're going to stop that one there. I hope I saw that one person was online. I hope they didn't leave because it was too painful what I was saying. I think sometimes people hang around and they think, I'll come back later for the other sign. I'm hoping it was that rather than they were upset. But this is love, guys. This is love and life. Right, we are going to go on to Capricorn next. That pigeon's so noisy. What the hell? I'm going to close the window actually because my feet are cold.